and Penn State. Um, Penn State, they was up 17-3. I was hearing and seeing that some of the players celebrating on the sideline, thinking, "Hey, we got this game." But Penn State, one of those teams, they're never out of it. With the coach they have, he go make sure they keep fighting. They never give. Yo, what's up, y'all? We back, man. I know it's been a while. It's been a long, long time, but we've been trying. But my brother got married and stuff like that, man. So it took a toll on us. But hey, we back, man. Brother won't be joining me on this episode, but he'll definitely be back on the next one, man. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. Um, it's been a lot we haven't talked about, but we'll like to talk about the current, So we're gonna get right into it. The first topic, we're going to preview a few games or college football games that's coming up this weekend. Um, the first one we got Nebraska and Indiana. Nebraska is 5-1. They only losses to Illinois in a close game, which most people felt they should have won. I want to say they lost by a touchdown, but they're a solid team. Is it Mike Rule or is it Mark Rule? Is one of them, but he's turned them around after having a unsuccessful season last year. With Indiana, they're undefeated, which they have been undefeated previous times, but once they go against the big time teams in the Big Ten, they kind of faltered. But this to me is their first real test of the season, and to prove that they belong in the Big Ten this year. Um, I think it could turn into a defensive game. Both teams are one of those. Both teams are a grit team. They run the ball, play solid defense, hit you with a play action. Um, Even though Nebraska quarterback can be explosive at times, but he also missed a lot of throws that he should make. But he's only a freshman. That's the thing. So he only can grow and get better from here. Um, but um, I expect it to be a big game or a good game. Um, I think like I said, it may come down to the fourth quarter. Who can win the fourth quarter? Um, I like the play of their quarterback, Indiana's quarterback. Um, he's been playing really well. And I don't think he's been turning the ball over a lot at all. So I think his role is going to be play big come against Nebraska in their defense. Um, but I guess I can go ahead and pick a winner on this one. I think I'm gonna take. It's kind of hard, but I think I'm gonna take Indiana for the simple fact. To me, I feel like they're the better team right now. They hot. They're playing at home. A lot of times, their home cooking can come through for a lot of teams. And it's an early game, so I think they could pull it out. I think it's gonna be a close one. Like I said before, I said a 3-point game. I think it come down to last 2 minutes of the game, and they can win by a field goal. The next game, um, I'm gonna go over is the Louisville Miami game. Of course, Miami, is 6-0, even though the last two games they struggled against Cal and Virginia Tech. Um, Against Virginia Tech, I think it was down like 10 points in the third, but somehow, some way they fought back and won the game. And then against Cal, they was down like maybe 17 or 18 points. And Cam Ward, got in his mode and led the Miami back to a victory after making a big comeback. Um, so I think they go try to use this game as a game to show people that they haven't fallen off, or they still gonna be one of the top teams come um, at the end of the regular season to be named in the playoff. But Louisville, they're not as good as they were last year. I think this point last year they was undefeated or only had one loss. Right now they're 4-2, so they're looking to show that they still one of the good teams in the ACC. If they can pull off this win, that'll definitely show that they're still in the thick of it. But I think Miami is going to come out strong because, like I said, they want to prove that they belong in the playoff and they're going to be a top team this season. With a Heisman candidate like Cam Ward, who's straight balling. I think he's top 5 in most of his stat categories. And he's looking good, man. You can't deny that he's really balling for them. But in this game, I think um, it could become close early on. I can see Louisville being trying to come out, showing toughness and grit to keep try to keep themselves in the game. But I think overall, Miami's go overpower them with the talent they have around Cam Ward, and their defense been playing solid as well. Even though, like I said, they gave up a lot of points last week to Cal, but they did what they're supposed to do to help the offense get back on the field and win the game. So in this one, I'm gonna take Miami. I think a double-digit win should be the max for them to win this weekend. Um, the next game got what's the next game? I said Alabama, Tennessee. Um, Alabama almost lost again to last weekend to South Carolina, but South Carolina found a way to lose it by overthrowing that pass late. Um, and I want to say it was another pass. He had a receiver open, he missed it. But Alabama survived after losing to Vanderbilt the previous week. But I think they're going to use this game since it's a AP Top 25 game. I think they're going to expect to, bounce back strong and show people that, they still, Alabama, or they still a top team come um, come playoff time. Uh, with Tennessee, they lost to Arkansas, so they also looking to bounce back, and they just I want to say they had just had a close game with Florida, which Florida ain't really got nothing. I don't see why they even allowed Florida to take them to overtime, but they did. So to me, I think Tennessee is looking to bounce back as well or play a strong game to show they're a top team in the SEC. But I expect to be a close game early on. I can see Tennessee because they're at home, and like I said, the home crowd plays a big factor in a lot of these games. But I think Tennessee is gonna come out firing and looking to show that they can play with Alabama. But I think at the end of the day, with the talent Alabama has, I think they'll eventually pull it out. With Milroe, doing his thing, I'm quite sure they're gonna try to spy Milroe. They'll be dumb not to spy him. And then I'm quite sure they're gonna try to at least double team Ryan Williams if they can. And I know it's hard because, like Kirby Smart said, when Georgia played them, it's kind of hard to double team Ryan Williams and leave Milroe to himself where he can scramble around and move around a lot. So you kind of got to pick your poison. But either way, Tennessee is gonna have to make a decision that they feel like is gonna benefit their team. But overall, I think Alabama's gonna pull it out. I still think they're one of the best teams in ACC. I just think they've been in a culture shock when they lost to Vanderbilt, and I think to me that's kind of a loss they had to take to end the era of end the Saban era. Saban era, because in the day it's the board era now. So and it's showing that the Saban era is over because I don't think they would lose to Vanderbilt if Saban was the coach. But in this game, I think Alabama wins. I say at least by a touchdown. Tennessee is gonna have enough, firepower to at least keep them in the game. But I think Alabama, close it out and win by 7. Um, another key game. We got what was that? Georgia, Texas, which is a big game. Um, well, I take that back. I'm gonna go back from that and go to the Michigan and Illinois game. Um, this game is big because it got Big Ten Conference Championship implications on it. With Michigan, taking another loss last week um, to Washington. Um, I think you know uh, that was big, and I don't think a lot of people expect them to lose to Washington. With what they brought back this year, or they thought they still had enough to beat teams like Washington. You know what I mean? Overall, they did lose in a close one, so they're gonna be looking to bounce back in this game against Illinois. Illinois is 5-1. I want to say they top win so far is against Nebraska, who was I think at the bottom of the top 25 at that point. So they been slowly winning games and showing that they could be top team in the Big Ten this year. But to me, it's their first test um, this season, and I expect them to try to come out and prove that they believe in the big they make people believe they a top team in the Big Ten. But in this one, um, I'm gonna think it's hard to make a decision because you don't know what Michigan team is going to show. They is going to be starting a new quarterback. They feel like kind of help them stay in the game against Washington, even though they still lost. But until I really see how he does in the full game, I'm gonna have to take Illinois in this one. I think Michigan defense is gonna try to do enough to keep them in the game, but Illinois overall, I think will overpower with the running game and win the game for them. Um, so yeah, that's who I'm picking in that one. Um, the next game, uh, got Georgia versus Texas. Um, Georgia, a couple of weeks ago, lost to Alabama, but against Auburn and who was the other team they played last week? Let me see, Auburn and uh, Mississippi State. I guess Auburn, they didn't come out as like they should have, or most people thought they would have, but they still won 31-13. And then last week against Mississippi State, it kind of let the game get to a shootout. A lot of people gonna be wondering what Georgia team is gonna show up. Is it gonna be that team that beat Clemson? I want to say 34-3, or it's gonna be that Alabama team that or the team that played against Alabama where they kind of was down early 28-0. You know what I mean? So either way, they're gonna have to come out with their best because they Texas is showing that they belong in the SEC. Most people thought them and Oklahoma was gonna struggle their first year, but they're showing that hey, we here and we're looking to take over. So I expect Georgia, defense to show up in some way. It's not as dominant as it was maybe last year or the year before, but it still has some type of dominance to them. And then with Beck, I think with them they need to, or with him they need to open up the playbook early to expand the field, so that way it won't look one dimensional or predictable when it comes to the play calling. With Texas, been on the roll. They haven't had a big game yet. Um, I want to say, yeah. So to me, I think this would be their first. Well, they play Oklahoma, which is a rivalry game, but Oklahoma is not as good as it was last year or the year before. So to me, it wasn't really a competitive game, which we all saw that. But to me, this is gonna be their first test, and I think they'll be look like I said they'll be looking to prove that they want the best team in ACC or one of the best. Um, I expect it to be a classic, a real classic. I can't remember the last time Georgia played Texas or Texas played Georgia, but it's go well. I want to say it was in the Sugar Bowl game when Sam Ellinger was the quarterback. They beat him in that bowl game, but that was pretty much to me was a similar to how Florida State didn't want to really play in that game against Georgia. You know what I mean? So it was something similar to like that because I felt Georgia felt like they should have been in the playoff that year. But overall, I think um, Georgia's going to win. I got Georgia in this one for the simple fact. I just until Texas really beats um, a top team when it matters. Other than I mean, like I said, they beat Alabama last year, but that means, like I say, end of the day, everybody felt saw that the Saban era was coming to an end. It wasn't the same Saban teams, so or a team. So I think until I really see them really win a big game of this caliber, I'm gonna have to take Georgia, man. But I do think it's gonna be, like I said, a classic. It's gonna be back and forth. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be one of their defenses is gonna have to win the game, and I think Georgia's gonna be that factor. Um, so yeah, I got Georgia in this one. Um, the next one, my last one, is the LSU and Arkansas game. LSU, of course, just came out for win against Ole Miss in an overtime game. There was kind of back and forth for most part of that game, but LSU did enough to score the game time touchdown to send it to overtime, and then eventually got the game winning touchdown in overtime. So they're gonna be looking to continue to build on that win. Um, Arkansas, they lost their first real game against Texas A&M. It was a close game, but somehow Texas A&M eventually pulled away and won that game. So both of these teams looking to show, and it's a rivalry game. So both teams will be looking to fight hard and try to get a W out of this one. But I'm gonna take LSU. Excuse me. I like their quarterback. Him throwing it to Lacey and number four, their receiver number four, and all the good weapons he have. But he just gonna have to really be decisive and make the right throws, because at the end of the day, Arkansas is one of those teams, like, you keep letting them hang around, they can eventually beat you. So yeah, hopefully he doesn't do that and LSU get the win. So that was my preview. That's my preview of some of the top college football games this weekend, man. Y'all come below, man. Tell me who y'all think is gonna be upset out of those games. Um, Topic number two, we got let me see. Topic number two is, does Lincoln Riley deserve another year at USC? And I came up with this topic because I think a lot of people, especially USC fans, was upset at they loss they had against Michigan and Penn State. Um, Penn State, they was up 17-3. I was hearing and seeing that some of the players celebrating on the sideline, thinking, "Hey, we got this game." But Penn State, one of those teams, they're never out of it. With the coach they have, he go make sure they keep fighting. They never give up. So a lot of people was upset with that loss and the Michigan loss. With the Michigan loss, they was up in that game as well and let Michigan drive down and win the game in the last 2 minutes. So I think, to me, he doesn't, because I feel like since he's been there, he haven't really did anything. I mean, it's really taking his third year, so a lot of times it takes between 3 to 4 years for you to turn the program around. But um, but when they made the hire, I'm quite sure they was expecting conference championships and um, playoff implications, but it hasn't happened. For the most part, the first 2 years they was in a running mid-season, then it kind of faltered as the season went along. But to me, I think it may be time for a change. I mean, 'cause like I said, to me, for USC, I haven't seen them struggle that much um, in a long time. So far as where they don't even um, win at least 8 games, or they're struggling to win 8 games. I mean, you could say that coach before him was going through that, but he at least had them winning the Pac-12 championship was Sam Darnold. You feel what I'm saying? So um, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens at the end of the season, or how they close out the season to kind of save his job. But to me, I think it may be time for him to go back, to another team or go back to Oklahoma or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Just I think it's the change of scenery need to be had to, for USC to grow. Um, but y'all let me know, man. Y'all tell me, do Lick Riley um, deserves to still be at USC another year, or he should be fired and let him go back to a team to where he could get a fresh start. Um, Topic number 3, I'm gonna preview a few key games in the NFL this week, which is week 7. And mostly the games that probably will either impact the division or the playoffs. Um, let's see here. I guess we start with my Falcons. So the Falcons play Seattle Seahawks at home Sunday at 1 p.m. Um, the Seahawks, just came off 2, I don't want to say heartbreaking losses, but losses they probably wish they never had. Um, they lost to the 49ers and then the Giants the week before. The Giants game, they pretty much was really winning the game, or was kind of, what I'm saying, gaining momentum throughout the game. But somehow they let the Giants just come back and win, and then I think they won the game or closed the game out on an interception or something like that. So that was, what I'm saying, that was kind of not a Seahawks type football they was playing. And then against 49ers, even though the 49ers I always give them a hard time, but Geno Smith still had some plays that he could have made to put them over the top. And also the play calling could have been a little better. But I think, they will come out trying to, bounce back from those 2 games. And then my Falcons, we're on a 3-game winning streak after, starting off 1-2. So I'm enjoying, of course, being a Falcon fan, I'm enjoying the improvement with each game. I think this last game was Carolina. They played good, solid offensively, but defensively, we could have, played a lot better. I think they gave up a lot of yards and points in that first half that we shouldn't have gave up. But hey, in the day we won the game, so you can't get mad. Um, I think with both teams, the defense is going to show up. I think the key X factors is going to be the offenses. Can Kirk Cousins and those weapons that we have, can they continue to improve and build on what's been going on in these 3 game winning streak? And then with Seattle, can Geno step up and play better than what he's been playing the last 2 games? But in this one, I'm gonna take the Falcons. I think we on a roll. I think we continue to be on that roll. But like I said, I think Kirko has to play clean football, similar to what he's been playing the last 3 games. Not really turning the ball over, even though he turned the ball over against Tampa. But it was just that was really at the end of the game. It's kind of like a desperate throw. It was 4th and 15. But if he can really take care of the ball, we keep running the ball like we've been running. I think, hey, we can easily, get to this W. But I think it's expected to be close. But I think in the end we prevail and win the game. Um, the next game, uh, I guess you say the Texans and Packers. The Texans, who is 5-1 right now, and the Packers 4-2. With the Texans, they've been playing great, despite the loss to who did they lose to? I want to say it was the previous week they had lost to them, or had that loss, which was to um, who was it? The Vikings. I think it was the week before. It's been a few weeks, sorry, my bad. But yeah, it was back in week 3 when they had the loss to the Vikings, who been playing lights out on defense. So you can't really blame them for losing to a team like that. Um, but since the loss, they've been winning. And Stroud is still back onto his status like he was last year, man. He's balling, making sure his receivers get the ball. It's gonna be interesting to see how, his receiver core, looks, or the offense flows, without Nico Collins, who's I think he's on the IR right now. But he still has Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. I want to say he has Mitchie as well, even though he was kind of in trade talks. Um, and the defense is still playing solid as well. I expect them to come out, playing well. And then with the Packers, um, it's been kind of up and down. Even though um, Malik Willis had to step in for Jordan Love after getting injured. He played well and kept him afloat. And I want to say since Jordan Love been back, I think it was like 1-1. I think they lost to the Vikings, and then they won last week. So um, I think Jordan Love is getting back to himself. I think he still was kind of iffy a little bit with his injury, but he's fighting through it, and you can't do nothing but shout out to him that he's fighting through this injury. But in this one, I'm gonna take the Texans because I feel like they had a better defense, and I feel like they got more weapons than what the Packers have. Um, but it could be a close one as well. I see this one being a close one as well. Um, Another game. Uh, let's see. The Vikings and the Lions. This is the next game. The Lions been balling. Like I said, they had that one loss to um, who did they lose to? Lost to the Buccaneers, which they should have won. So really, technically, to me, they should be undefeated. But somehow they came out flat in that game and just let the Buccaneers do what they want to do with their game. But outside of that loss, they really been balling. I want to say the last 2 or 3 games they scored over 40 some points, which is big to show you that their offense has been real explosive. But this past weekend, Aiden Hutchinson just got hurt, broke his tibia and fibula, so he's going to be out for at least the rest of the season. If they make a deep run like they did last year to the playoffs, he could possibly come back. But as of right now, he's going to be out for the remainder of the season, man. Which is a big injury. I hate that happened. Shout out to him and hope he get back well, man. But they gonna be in this game. They gonna be looking to try to show that we still can do this for Hutchinson. Even though he's not out there with us. And then the Vikings coming off a bye week. But that I want to say they're one of the remaining undefeated teams um, that's out there in the NFL at 5-0. Like I said, the defense is playing lights out, man. Everybody's talking about the way they're playing defense because Brian Flores, which always been to me a good defensive guy. So his defense always played solid. Even when he was Miami, they just didn't have the offense to prevail him. But I think it's gonna be a good game. It's a division game, so those division games be knit and grit. But the factor for this game is gonna be can Golf score on this, or basically Golf in the game can score on this Vikings defense. It's been hard for a lot of teams to score. If they did, it was on the back end, where they trying to where they trailing from behind and trying to come back. They was able to put up points then, but so far as early on in the game, the Vikings defense kind of put teams away early and make sure Sam Darnold does his thing, which he's been doing all season long so far, and win the games. But um, I think it's like I said, it'll be a tough game, a tough division game. Um, but in this one, I'm gonna have to take the Vikings again just because the Lions are not gonna have Hutchinson on their D line. So right now they miss at least a half of their um, D in production right now. So unless they can find somebody to fill that spot, I just don't see them, beating the Vikings this Sunday. And then the last one, um, okay, I guess we go with the Ravens and the Buccaneers. The Ravens, they started out 0-2, but they won the last 4 games. Lamar and Derrick Henry have been doing their thing. They finally made a decision. Say, hey, we need to feed this guy Derrick Henry to help out Lamar instead of trying to put everything on Lamar. You feel what I'm saying? They finally, did what they're supposed to do with that, and it's been working. You know what I'm saying? And then with the Buccaneers, uh, they've been kind of in the middle. You know, Baker Mayfield, a few games he's been hot, and then other games haven't been hot. But either way, he's still showing that he's a starter at quarterback. You know what I mean? He still have the weapons with Goodwin and um, Mike Evans. I forgot they had Sterling Shepard, but he's been coming along the last couple of games. So they're gonna be looking to show the Ravens that, hey, y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all ain't just a solid playoff team this year. We are too. You know what I mean? But of course, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I can't never go against Lamar. That's just me. That's my guy. You feel what I'm saying? I think the Ravens defense is gonna do more than enough to confuse Baker Mayfield and make sure they get the turnovers to help Lamar and Derrick Henry get on the field and do their thing. Um, but like I said, in this one, I'm gonna take the Ravens. So those are just a few games I feel like key games that could impact the division or the conference or even the playoffs. So um, y'all comment below, man. Y'all tell me who is gonna be out of the games I just mentioned, who's gonna be on the upset side. Would it be the Ravens? Would it be the Falcons? Would it be the Vikings? Y'all let me know, man. Our fourth topic, we got who had the better trade, Buffalo Bills or New York Jets? I came with that question because we all know this week Devante Adams was traded to the Jets, which kind of made me mad in the sense on the Raiders side because I'm like, you make an announcement that you go trade him. He comes to you say you want to trade, but yet all you settle for is a conditional third round pick that could be a second round pick. That don't make sense to me. To me, I would at least made a trade return to where, okay, well, we're gonna give y'all Devante, but I want one of y'all receivers and a third round pick or a fourth round pick. I'll take that. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's kind of like a good collateral. And then with that fourth round pick, telling what player can come out and be a great player for y'all off that pick. You know what I'm saying? So um, I just didn't think that was a good pick. But hey, for the on the Jet side, it was a great trade. Um, and then with the Buffalo Bills, they traded for Amari Cooper from the Browns, which they needed another receiver, at least a number one receiver. And I think they got that in Amari Cooper. But to me, I think in this trade, I would say as of right now, Buffalo is winning. I only say that because Devante haven't played with the team yet, so you don't know what's going to come. It's just like, well, I guess you could say both teams, but I think to me, I think the way that the Bills run their offense, I think he can fit in them a little more than Devante. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I just I think it's gonna take some time with the Jets because they have a lot of receivers and a lot of them gonna want the ball. So you got Garrett Wilson, who's supposed to be the number one receiver, but Devante's there now, so he's gonna be the number one. Then you got Lazard, and then you got the rookie. I forgot his name. That's been out there as well. So, like I said, they got a nice receiver core, but can they gel together fast come Sunday or Monday, and start getting them back into the winning column, which is remain to see. But I think with Amari Cooper, I think he go fit in right away, um, and do his thing. Now will he help them make a playoff push or make them greater than what they've been over the last few years? I can't say that just yet, but I definitely think that's something they needed, and it's going to fit well with them. And then, like I said, with Devante, he's been dealing with so-called hamstring. I think he really just sat out because he asked for the trade and want to make sure he's ready whenever he get traded. And I understand that, you know what I mean. So he got what he wanted. It's time to show now that hey, I'm back with my quarterback. We're gonna do our thing. But my thoughts, like I say, I think the Bills as of right now has won that trade. Um, if you want to beat me up about it, go ahead, do your thing. But for me, that's just the way I'm thinking about it, man. But y'all comment below, man. Y'all tell me who y'all think won the trade, or do you think nobody won the trade? You don't think both teams is gonna benefit from the trade? Let comment below and let us know, man. And then we here. as always, one, two, three, four. Feel our top five, man. Um, they're alive. They ain't dead. They're alive. They're still alive, man. They're not dead. um, but it's our top five Heisman list. And it's a lot of candidates in the college football world right now. But we always do our top five. So as of right now, my top five is Travis Hunter, who has been playing outstanding so far this year. Outside of him not well, was it last game? He started the game, but then got injured, so he sat out. But I think if he stayed in that game, they beat Kansas State. I just single-handedly think that. I don't think that deep pass would have happened, nor though they went back and forth like it did in that last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. So I think he's going to continue to play great. It's just going to be can he continue to help his team win? Two, I got Ashton Genty, the man is straight balling. Like he's really showing that if you stay down with the team you're with, hey, you can ball out. And you don't always have to go to those top schools because he had Boise State, but yet they I want to say they undefeated. No, they're not undefeated. They got one loss. They lost to Oregon, but outside of that, they've been playing great. And he's been dominant. You know what I mean? Almost averaging, I want to say, between 189 to 195 yards a game. Like that's big. That's almost Barry Sanders numbers. He has a chance to break his records if he continues to go on that pace. Um, Three, I got Cam Ward. Like I said, he got Cam Ward. I got three. I got Cam Ward. I think he's been playing great for Miami. Keeping them keeping them in the the flow of they could be a playoff team this year and win the ACC. Like I said, despite those two losses, I mean not two losses, but those two struggle games the last 2 weeks or the last two games, I think he's still they still is going to win the ACC to me because of him. But I think this game this weekend is going to show that against Louisville that hey, I'm still a Heisman candidate and ball out. Four, I got Dylan Gabriel. He had a big win against Ohio State last week. Played great. It came down to a last second field goal for them to win the game. But he overall he played great, man. I think he will continue to play great. And I don't really see Oregon slowing down. So, but he does have a couple more big games coming up within the Big Ten. And if he can win those games and play good in those games, he might have a very well good shot of beating out Travis and Ashton. And my last one, I got to put Shador. And I kind of had him as one of my Heisman finalists beginning of the year. So I got to keep him intact. They still, even though they're like, I want to say they're 4-2, but I think with his caliber and his talent, I think he still can help them, some way find a way to win the Big 12 and get in the playoff. It sounds crazy. They already got two losses, but I still think he can make it happen, man. He's very talented. But it always would depends on how he plays, along with the defense. So yeah, man, that's my top five. I got Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Cam Ward, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador Sanders, man. Once again, that's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our top five, man. Um, Once again, like always, thank y'all again for tuning in to the Two Bros Sports Talk show. Like I say, it's been a while, but hey, man, we about to start back rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot been going on. Shout out to my bro. He got married a couple of weeks ago. You know what I mean? It was beautiful. Was honored to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, man, he gonna be back on the next episode as well, man. But as always, y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, and share, man. And hit us up, in social media, man. Like I say, we here. So we see it. If you say something, we go say something back, man. You know what I'm saying? Give us our thoughts, man. But until then, peace.